What does the voice in your head sound like? Like me, but more sexy and confident and deeper and logical and rational and everything I wish I was. It sounds like what I think, optimistically, I sound like. My actual voice is much worse. I can change the voice. Sometimes it sounds like my voice. But if I'm ever having a rough day, I try to turn it into a Family Guy character to make myself laugh. Only one? If they are my thoughts, me someone else's words or writing them. Like if Kermit the Frog smoked a pack a day for 20 years. It doesn't really sound like anything specific. I can just hear the words I think. It has no distinct voice, it's just a uniform sound. However, I can read things in other people's voices. Like if I hear, "Hey everybody," it's always in Farnsworth's voice, but otherwise my default voice is formless. I don't think sound is the right word. Morgan Freeman. It sounds like me. That's how it tricks me into thinking it is me. Elevator music. Can't say what it sounds like. But it says, "Stop buying dumb stuff, quit smoking," and other stuff. Also at any time there will be playing in my head. Right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4 by Feist. Several songs come and go throughout the day. J. Edgar Hoover. Me. It varies. Sometimes it sounds like me, other times it sounds like me but angrier. My inner voice is the same as when I was just a teenager. Cold sweat smile sounds like a boy. Me. It's my own voice. Me but more scared. Depends on what I'm doing. Just normally thinking it's me. Reading something, it sounds like what I think the writer or character sounds like. And if I'm thinking about someone else saying something, then it sounds like them. Raymond Burr. Specifically Jensen Ackles in an Australian accent. It just stuck. Tom Selleck. Depressed. So my voice is a slightly gravelly tenor. Inside my head, however, I could best be described as a super consistent high tenor that is just going non-stop without ever mispronouncing things. Also, I sigh at a way higher pitch in my head, which is just confusing me, but more confident and much less deep than my recorded speaking voice. I don't know. Depends on the day and what I am thinking about. My reading voice is a softer, more neutral version of my own voice. When I am thinking, it's different. I usually think from different POVs, which means there are different voices at somewhat of a round table having a meeting about the topic. A more manlier Rachel Maddow. Whatever I want it to sound like. Kratos. The Eeyore version of myself. Holes shit. It sounds like me. The main voice sounds like a bitch. There is no sound. And I talk to myself a lot, but I understand every word as if my mind interpreted it. The voice in my head sounds like how the expression on my face looks. So, chances are if my face is saying, WTF, the voice in my head is saying it. Nowhere near as whiny as my recorded voice. He sounds like a pretty level-headed guy. Me. But disappointed in me. Like a friendly monster. Like Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. Sometimes it sounds like Adam Sandler. Don't really have a voice in my head. Just pictures, flickers, and the sort. It sounds how I think I sound to myself. If you want to get an idea of how you sound, put your finger in one ear and speak. Did you ever watch a singer sing? They have a finger in one ear, and they can hear themselves over the loud music. A flat whisper of my own voice is the best way I can describe it. It sounds like any other voices, but usually kinda quiet and barely understandable. Like they're coming from down the hall. Echoey. Lol. I had to think to myself to hear. I sound like me. But why can I hear a voice in my head? Am I really hearing it or thinking it? But how is it possible we can think a voice? I can even think in other people's voices but can't speak in other people's voices. This post got my brain twisted, loudly crying. Woody Harrelson as Larry Flint, before he got shot, reading the original Blair Witch script. I don't have an inner monologue. It's all images. There is sound, a lot of music and the voices of people who I recall. But no voice that represents myself. Sounds just like me. If I had a slightly deeper, less whiny voice and had vocal training to beat the weird mix of Ohio, Florida, Texas accents out of my mouth. In other words, it sounds exactly like my real voice, doesn't? Third person. He's about to do this. Is he really gonna do that? All like, identify yourself, Mr. Observer. A bitch. Mostly. Void sound entity with a clear human voice. My mother. Darth Vader. Jack Nicholson in The Shining. It's my inner child.